Hello friends, I'm Fide instructor Atul Dahale and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to see a very crushing game played in Sicilian Najdorf opening. Yes guys, this is my favorite opening from black side, but today we are going to do a little bit change today because we are going to see this game from white side and how to crush the Sicilian Najdorf opening. We are going to see it. Well, one thing is very curious, like how did he come up with this beautiful idea of b3 in this variation, because all other aspects of the game are already be done. So guys, coming straight to the game, in gold money rapid chess tournament which is happening online, Peter Svidler played one amazing game against current women's world number one player Hou Yifan from China, and the game was really amazing. So guys, without further delay, let's get started with the game and find out how to crush the Sicilian Najdorf opening. But before we go further, I would like to request you to don't forget to like this video, share this video, and give some love to that red button there, that is the subscribe button, if you are new on my channel. So let's begin. So in this game, Peter Svidler was white. He started with e4, black played c5, knight f3, d6, d4, c captures d4, knight captures d4, knight f6, knight sues c3, and a6. This is the starting position of Sicilian Najdorf opening. Okay, this is a very tropical and a very famous opening played from black side because it gives lots of dynamic chances from the both sides. Okay, this black also gets equal number of chances, you can say, fight for the victory. Here there are multiple ways to play, like bishop e2, bishop e3, then bishop c4 is there, then followed by bishop g5, and even f4, h3, rook g1, g4. All this kind of crazy stuff has already been played from white side, but Peter Svidler came up with a very interesting move, that is b3. What to say about this thing? Well, what he wants to do is, like, he doesn't want to develop the bishop traditionally on these squares, bishop e3 or bishop g5. He wants to put this bishop on this diagonal. Okay, just like the Najdorf dragon opening. Okay, so he plays this thing. Black plays e3. Well, e5 was also one of the possibilities in this position, and it's kind of curious, like what he was going to play after this. Maybe the knight will go to f3 square, this bishop will still go to b2 square, and then followed by maybe knight d5, and the pawn will come on c4 square. We don't know. Okay, we will see in further if any other game happens what they are going to play. So e6 is played. He develops the bishop on b2 square, bishop e7, very normal, queen to d2. White is already preparing for castle in this position. Okay, means once the long castling will be happening, then the usual attack with f3, g4, this kind of things might happen. Okay, we never know. Queen c7, black is also putting some pressure on this c5. Okay, white, as per the promise, you can say, he long castles in this position, and now black could have castled. That was the simplest move you can play in this position, followed by maybe you can go for knight d7 or knight c6 and then play b5, slow and steady. Okay, but here Hou Yifan played a move which just changed everything. She played b5, and after b5, this is the moment where you need to pause the video and think like what to play, because this was a very crucial moment in the game in which Peter Svidler took a decision which made the game a very interesting, okay, very interesting game. So here, what to do? Well, I hope that you must have paused the video and thought about the position, and here Peter Svidler came up with a brilliant sacrifice. He sacrificed his bishop on b5. Just to let you know, this is a very typical sacrifice which happens. White gives up the pawn for 3 pawns, white gives up the piece for 3 pawns, and after giving up the piece for the 3 pawns, what happens is, you get lots of activity on the queen side. First of all, I'll just play a into b5 is almost forced. Now knight db5. Well, knight db5 is important because we want to open up the d file and capture the third pawn on d6 square. That is the main idea. Knight db5 is played. Queen is also being attacked here. Queen needs to be played somewhere. She plays queen to b6, and now knight captures d6. Bishop captures d6, queen into d6. Well, white has grabbed 3 pawns. And one more thing is there, the king is still in the center. Now if black goes for the endgame with queen into d6, which is a likely possible move in this position, rook into d6 and the endgame, I will say that white will definitely have great compensation for the sacrificed pawn, because he has 3 pawns on this side of the board, on the queen side, without any obstruction, right? So the pawns will be proceeded forward slowly and gradually, This is a battle, guys. This is a battle because white is playing on the activity of the pawns. Plus one more thing is there, you can observe this thing, that these pieces are not yet developed. Okay, so white is slightly ahead in development. The other rook on h1 is also going to come on the d1 square, and white might get some good advantage in this position. So Hou Yifan doesn't want to go into the endgame, which will be inferior for her. She plays knight to c6. Okay, but playing knight c6 is even more worse because now she needs to defend her king. The king is still in the center, and the way Peter Svidler played in this position shows how great player he is. Okay, he is there at the top since last 20 years, guys, and he is playing against these young players quite often and with great success. Okay, so knight c6. Now what to do? You need to continue with your attack. You cannot really slow down in this position. So great tactical player will always understand that he needs to open up the position whenever the opponent's king is there in the center of the board. So how will you open up the position? How will you open up the center? Yes, the move is knight to d5. When the knight comes on d5 square, there are multiple threats. First thing is like queen is being attacked. Another thing is knight c6 check, and it is just a check and mate. Otherwise you need to give up the queen. That's not something you are going to do. So here black played e captures d5, which is understandable. He is sacrificing the second piece in this position. Well, but for what? Well, he captures e into d5. Then you can try to save the knight here, but the queen will be lost, so the knight cannot really go anywhere. He captures knight into d5. Now what to do? Are you just going to capture the knight, or are you going to bring a new piece in the game? Well, if you are Peter Svidler, then definitely you will bring a piece in the game. So he plays rook h e1 check, bishop comes on e6 square, and now he captures the knight. Okay, so after rook captures d5, here the bishop e6 and rook captures d5, the position is now quite in favor of white, I will say, because white has already got great attacking position. The rooks as well as the queen are there. The king is still in the center. The pieces are not moving. The knight cannot move. This bishop is just attacking on g7, and black is in big trouble. I will say that this position is already quite difficult for black. Black plays queen b7, try to cover up the mess which has happened here. Now Peter Svidler plays rook c5, attacking the knight on c6. Knight is being questioned. What to do? Well, if the knight moves somewhere like knight e7, then rook c7 is a good idea, followed by queen into e7, and white should be winning. So here she plays rook a6, supporting the knight. Now what to do? Well, true attacking player will keep on attacking. Here obviously rook into e6 is one of the possibilities which might happen, but f into e6, queen into e6, and okay, king is being attacked, but we don't need to worry about the king because we have this queen e7, and black will save the position somehow. That's what I will say. Well, you have rook into c6, this kind of a move, but if you play rook into c6, then queen into e6 is a good idea, and after this black will be just too much piece ups, right? So it's not a good idea to give up the rook here. So here Peter Svidler plays rook d1, a very calm move. The idea is to just capture on c6 by whichever piece you are going to capture. Queen d8 will be a check and mate. That's the idea. So here we need to defend the queen, means the square on d8 square. So she plays queen a8. Queen e7 was also a good idea. Queen d7 was also a good idea, but she plays queen to a8. Okay, now he captures the pawn on g7. After capturing the pawn, knight e7 was played. Okay, now the queen is being attacked. First of all, you cannot really capture the you cannot really capture the rook on h8 first of all, because queen needs to be protected. So here what we should be doing, okay, here the move was played queen to d4. After queen d4, rook g8 was played because rook needs to be supported, and now it's almost over. Bishop f6 attacking the knight over here. Knight d5 was played, and now he plays a4. Okay, knight d5 was played, and now a4 was played. After a4, what to do? Well, she captures knight into f6, queen into f6. Again, there are certain threats. Rook c7 is threatened, followed by queen to e7 check and mate. Well, she tries the final tricks, you can say, bishop into b3, and now rook to d6. Another interesting and very simple idea. The point is just that here Peter Svidler wants to play rook e5, and followed by it will be a check and mate very soon. So here rook into d6 was played, queen into d6. and now still you can see this thing that the king is still there in the center of the board. Okay, bishop e6. Now how to continue? Well, the simplest one is to just to play rook b5 followed by rook to b8. It's a checkmate and the queen is also being attacked. So here Peter Svidler kept on attacking on Hou Yifan. Okay, so queen d8. Finally the queen is lost after queen rook b8 means queen is getting lost, so bishop c8 is first. And now what to do? It feels that black has defended the position because so many pieces are already been exchanged, but wait for it. He plays queen e5 check, king goes to f8 square. And when are you going to use your pawns? Yes, it's the time for you. You keep pushing the pawns, there is no hurry. Rook into g2. Okay, no problem. Queen c5 check, and now the bishop on c8 is completely lost. King g7, rook into c8. So Peter Svidler has regained the piece with 2 extra pawns, and the game is almost over. Rook g1 check, king b2, queen d1. Okay, she is trying to give some checks on this side of the board and hoping that there will be some perpetual check or mate. But Peter Svidler is very quick. He plays queen to f8 check, king g6, rook c6 check, king g5, and now queen g7 check. King comes on f5 square, queen into f7 check. Well, this is almost over because if you play king to g5, how will you finish off the game? Well, there are many different ways in which you can finish off the game. The easiest one, I feel like f4 is also there, or queen f6. Just give the check, king h5 will be played, and now I think we can simply play rook to c5 check. King has only one square, and now you go for rook g5 check. King will come here, and queen h6 will be a check and mate. After queen h5, this is just a mate. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this amazing game played by Peter Svidler. It all started with this bishop into b5 check, I must say, and after that he kept on attacking, bringing more and more pieces in the game, and he won the game in a very smooth fashion. I hope that you enjoyed this game and this video also. Don't forget to like this video and share this video with your friends also. We'll be meeting very soon with some interesting topic and some interesting game. Till that moment, keep watching the channel and keep sharing your love with me. Thanks and goodbye.